Leonard, a big part of his approach is empowering players. He says, quote, "It's a player's game, and they've got to take charge." Rather than try to manipulate them, he said, "It's a great feeling when players get together and do things as a group." Kevin?
Thanks, Doris.
You know, giving his players room to lead and allowing them to take ownership, I mean, I think that's part of the genius of Popovich.
Here's George. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. West a screen on Leonard. George with the ball. Leonard picks him up. Fades. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. 10 points here for George. Spurs trail by 18.
Timeout Spurs.
San Antonio calls timeout for coming off that win against the Nets.
I just loved the rhythm they got into offensively. I mean, they really started to click from the outset, and it carried through the whole way.
And that result was indeed impressive. They basically cruised all the way home.
Now here's Parker, looking for his first basket still in this one. And the call will be against George Hill. That's his first foul. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Oklahoma City. They like where they stand right now, perched in that topmost position. And checking out San Antonio, right on their heels and with their sights set on gaining ground.
When I look at San Antonio, they've really wasted no time. I mean, they've already shown themselves to be in mid-season form, and you expect that from a team of this caliber.
Yeah, they're a team to be reckoned with, among the very best the league has to offer, and they know it. They play with a lot of confidence.
Pacers are just a solid team on the glass. Everybody knows how to box out, and they all have tremendous strength. A physical team does a pretty good job of rebounding the ball for the most part. There were some struggles at times, but over the course of the season, pretty solid rebounding team.
For the Pacers, they ended with the best rebound differential in the East, and that shouldn't be a surprise.
Well, they have the length, the size, and the determination to get everything that comes off the rim. You know, a lot of teams only have two of those aspects, but the Pacers put it all together.
Now, here is Hill, averaging 6 points per contest. And here's George for three. Rebound by Parker. Spurs trail by 18. Leonard attacking. Count that one. Leonard's got 10 points.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
Hibbert with a screen for Stuckey. And Hill has it in the corner. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Parker with it. He's picked up by Hill. Parker passes to Duncan. Just his first attempt. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Stuckey. Pacers leading by 19 points. West a screen on Parker. Hill kicks it to West. Stuckey outside. Looks for Hibbert. Gets it to him. Shoots in deep. And Tim Duncan gets the whistle that time. Boris Diaz checked in for Sporting.
Boris Diaz.
Timeout called the Pacers. Roy Hibbert, one of the biggest players in the league, Clark, 7'2" last season, bulking up to 290 pounds.
Yeah, he wanted to get stronger to better hold his position in the low post, and for a good portion of the season he did that. Then he fell back into some old habits. You know, when he first joined the Pacers, the coach had him slim down to 250 pounds because the type of game the Pacers were playing was a little different. But he's a player who's best playing to his strength, and we mean that literally.
Here is Parker. The Pacers making the shot. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. And the basket good. Green's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Parker against Hill. And he lobs it up. Out of bounds. Pacers ball as Indiana keeps possession. And a look at the top three-point shooting small forwards this season in the NBA. Every wingman should have that shot in his arsenal, and these guys certainly do. Paul George on top.
And his range is about as long as it gets. And you better have someone on him as soon as he gets across half court. or he'll drop a bomb on you.
As much effort as he expends to get into space on the perimeter and as well as he shoots it, when he does get open, opponents may want to give him a little extra attention out there. I mean, you got to know where he is. One guy on him might not be enough.
Joseph, that's good.
Boy, he can be a matchup nightmare inside the paint.
Pacers leading by 16. Hill dishes to Mahinmi. It's Hill on the wing, covered by Mills. Outside Hill. Scola sets a screen for Hill. Here's the lob to the hoop. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
It's still early on in this new basketball season for San Antonio. And here's where they sit in the NBA rankings. Third in fewest turnovers per game. Third in opponent field goal percentage. You know, they also show up in the top 5 in opponent scoring. That's a good number, and that's a good place to be as a team in that statistical category.
And I love that number, Clark, third in fewest turnovers per game, because that's a sign of a well-coached team, very disciplined. They share the basketball. Their spacing is good. They've got a good plan of attack every game. So the players know where each other is, and that just allows for much better offensive execution. Boris Diaw, pretty unique player in the NBA. Came into the league as a passing point forward, but became a small forward and then really a 4. But he's a crafty passer, and he can score a little bit from the outside. Very difficult player to guard.
Here's Sloan. Back to Scola. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Well, the pick worked really well there. Nice job taking it right to the 10 for the layup.
Joseph, the pass to Leonard. There's 38 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Ginobili, averaging 6 points per contest. 4 on the clock. It's rebounded by Indiana. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Here's Sloan. Screen by Scola. The kick out to Hill. A 3-ball. Offensive rebound. Scola dishes to Sloan. That one goes. Count. Sloan's got his second bucket of the game to go. Ginobili with the ball. No good on that last second attempt. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, this had to be the choice. It was an absolutely sensational feat, putting it way up there above the rim so that only his teammate could catch it. And not only does he do it, but he powers it down from there.
The timing of these plays are just phenomenal. Parker and Danny Green are your 1 and your 2. Down low, it's Duncan and Splitter. And it's Ginobili in at the 3 slot. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Here's Sloan. It's deflected. Out of bounds. Pacers ball as Indiana keeps possession. And Indiana making a change here. Hill's checked in. Off the inbound pass. It's hauled in by Ginobili.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
Duncan kicks to Parker. Feeds it to Splitter. Back to Parker. 5 to shoot. Lets it go from the wing. Second shot opportunity. And that one's good. Duncan.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
And here's Ginobili to the paint. Here's Parker. David West grabs the miss.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And it's George finishing it off.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Green with a screen on Hill. Parker passes to Duncan. Duncan right side. Back to Parker. 6 to shoot. with another miss.
And he's having all sorts of problems with his shot.
I'm not sure he even has a shot right now, Steve, to be quite honest. Not a reliable one anyway.
Now here is Hill. Hibbert with the screen for Hill. Outside, George. Good on the triple. And the Pacers lead by 19.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist total. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, the great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
Here's Green. Dishes to Splitter. Parker outside. And it's good with time running down in the shot clock.
I'll tell you what, the defender didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for San Antonio. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Hill kicks to Stuckey. And he gets the bucket.
One of the sweetest moves in the game, the reverse layup in traffic.
Spurs trail by 19. Parker outside. Here's the screen. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Parker's got 4 points this quarter.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to fight over the top of that.
Now, here is George. Hill dishes to Hibbert. Hooked away. Leonard with the steal. Hangs in the air, and he sinks the layup.
Well, they found the touch here in the second half from the field, and everything else we talk about, folks, rebounding, defense, all of that, this game is still about making shots. You got to put the ball in the basket. That's the bottom line, and they found a way to do it here in the second half.
Here's Hill. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Hibbert with a screen on Leonard. Just 5 on the clock. The shot by George, no good.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
Parker with it. Picked up by Stuckey. We've got 1:55 left to play in the final quarter. Green against Hill. There's Parker with the three. Hibbert pulls it in. Hibbert's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
West setting the pick for George. It's back to Hill. He kicks it to Hibbert. Tipped away. And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession.
Well, what we saw here tonight is one team just had everything going for it, and the other didn't. Huge margin of victory for the Pacers.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
A little bit closer to the win now, and they'll be halfway to a sweep of the season series once they wrap this one up.
That's right. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
And if you had to pick one player who would maybe take over everyone else in terms of picking up his game, it was, I think, that kind of a night for George. He was extremely efficient offensively, getting looks, knocking down big shots all game long.
Now here's Parker. There's 48 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And Leonard has it in the corner. Back to Parker. Count it from 12. Now here is Hill. There's the dish to Stuckey. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. And George, here we go. No good. Parker with it. 4-on-3 break. And it's Rodney Stuckey with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul. Substitution.
Diaw down low. Now Bellinelli. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were